Since the country went into lockdown on the 23rd of March, I think we can all admit that we've seen some of the very best of human nature on show. The way the nation has honoured and supported, thanked and clapped our key workers has been really touching. The rainbows in the windows, the fundraising that's taken place, Captain Tom, bless him. The kindness and appreciation shown towards those working on the front line in this pandemic has just been so wonderful to see. What people are saying about the key workers in this crisis has been really encouraging and uplifting to hear, and I'm sure it makes God so happy. On the other hand, it's been an interesting week for the UK over the past 4 or 5 days. The easing of the lockdown, combined with the announcement that English schools might be reopening on the 1st of June, has caused a huge and at times quite volatile debate. The Prime Minister has been satirised and criticised for his apparent lack of clarity, and the tone this debate has started to take is quite different to the kindness we've seen expressed towards the key workers throughout this pandemic. It seems there's differing opinions about just how unlocked down we should be, and the schools reopening has been the most volatile part of this argument so far, particularly whether or not schools will be safe enough places for teachers and support staff and children to be. It seems the government think one thing and the teaching and medical unions think another, and then the press have joined in to fuel the argument. And some of the things that have been said have just been really horrible. Some newspapers are claiming that teachers are just being lazy and not wanting to go back to work. Other newspapers have claimed that teachers are desperate to go back to work, but their militant unions are just trying to pick a fight. And this hugely emotive debate has bubbled over onto social media, as it often does. And my news feed has been filled with deeply passionate posts from people who have very strong opinions on both sides of the debate, who both think they're right. But often the things that people have written in these posts and shares and comments to argue their case can and has caused real hurt to people on either side of the fence. And it's highlighted just how damaging throwaway comments can be. You know, the tongue is physically one of the weakest muscles in the body. And yet the words it's able to create can cause way more damage than a physical hit or punch or kick ever can. The tongue is powerful. The tongue is capable of creating immense good or incredible destruction. There's no surprise then that the Bible talks about the tongue over 100 times. And perhaps one of the most famous references to the tongue is found in the book of Proverbs, chapter 18 and verse 21. And this is what it says: "The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit." And this short but beautiful proverb contains a profound key to living a hope-filled life. It basically heeds us to watch what we say and understand the power of our words. What we say and what we contribute in conversations and discussions can either bring life or death to someone else's self-esteem and self-worth. It says earlier on in the book of Proverbs, just a few chapters before this, in chapter 15, verse 4, that a perverse tongue crushes the spirit. Social media is an interesting animal, isn't it? People will say things on social media that I honestly don't think they dream of saying to someone's face. But the screen and the text kind of distances us from people. It distances us from the people that we're talking about and the people that we're talking to. And if we're not careful, our words and opinions and comments, they can quickly create real negativity and often real damage to others. When I was growing up, my mum would say a lovely little phrase to me, and I've never forgotten it, and it was this: "If you can't think of something nice to say, don't say anything at all." So this is a challenge to us all this morning. As the coronavirus lockdown continues to ease and changes are made to policy and the way we live our lives, be careful how you comment publicly about those changes. If you have a habit of losing control of your tongue, and we all do it sometimes, whether to pass judgment on someone else's opinion or try to prove our own point or to brag about our achievements, you homeschoolers, you know who you are. I'm just jealous. Ask the Lord to show you whether your words are going to bring life or death to someone. And if you think the latter is true, ask God to help you to be silent. The proverb says that those who love the tongue will eat its fruit. In other words, you reap what you sow. We all eat the fruit that our words create, whether bitter or sweet. Our words either make us friends or enemies. They either build us up or drag us down. And as Christians, as humans, we are made in the image of God. And therefore, our words, like His, have the potential to breathe such life into this dark situation. So let's make sure that's exactly what they do. Be mindful of your tongue today. Be kind in what you say to others. And here's a bit of really practical advice for you. If you can't think of anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Instead, turn your frustrations, even the legitimate ones, into prayers, asking God to help you to bring life through your contributions to this crazy situation.